Have you ever felt like living in California has turned into some kind of game where you don't even understand the rules anymore? You pay your taxes, you cover the fees. Yet every year it feels like someone quietly changes the rules behind your back, and then one day it hits you. Even the home you paid off years ago might not be as safe as you always believed. For many older Californians, the fear isn't storms or inflation anymore. It's a new tax letter showing up in the mailbox. One little envelope that can take thousands of dollars out of your pocket and sometimes take away the peace of an entire family. What's even more troubling is how so many rules from Prop 13, Prop 19, to a wave of new special taxes are shifting in ways nobody warned us about, to the point where families are quietly asking themselves, are we even safe here anymore? In this video, I am breaking down the new rules affecting California families in 2025, from Prop 13, Prop 19, and the taxes no one tells you about. Are you ready to hear it? Have you ever stopped and wondered, what's really going to happen to this home when I'm no longer here? It sounds like a distant thought, but in California today, that question is no longer about emotion or family. It has become a tax calculation, a cold, unforgiving formula that can force your children to sell the very home you spent your entire life trying to keep. What worries older Californians the most isn't the storms outside, or even the gas prices climbing every day. What keeps them awake is a seemingly harmless rule, buried inside Prop 19. The reassessment rule that kicks in the moment a homeowner passes away, a rule many now call the death tax. Overnight, the home you leave to your kids can be reassessed at full market value, stripping away the low property taxes you've held onto for decades. Picture this: a son or daughter hasn't even finished the funeral arrangements, hasn't even touched their father's old chair, when a letter arrives from the county. The home dad bought 30 years ago for $450,000 is now valued at $1.3 million. Property taxes jump from $2,000 a year to more than $17,000, one small number on a piece of paper, but a number that can push an entire family out of the home they grew up in. That is Prop 19's death tax reassessment rule, and this isn't a rare story. It's happening all over California. Most people never got a clear explanation of Prop 19. When it passed, all they heard was that it would help seniors move more easily, but no one talked about the fine print. When a parent dies, the house is reassessed at market value unless the child moves in within 1 year. And if it's a rental, a duplex, an ADU, or a second home, there are no exceptions, no loopholes, no negotiation. What makes it even more heartbreaking is this: older Californians, folks who paid off their mortgage, who built a stable life over decades, are starting to feel like they're renting their home back from the government. They look at their tax bill and feel as if someone is tightening their grip around their ownership. Many people say it outright: we never really own our homes. We only own them until we can't afford the taxes. This isn't exaggeration. It's the honest truth for thousands of people who feel crushed by a system they no longer understand and no longer trust. They're angry because politicians talk about protecting families, yet pass laws that push families into selling their homes. They're exhausted because taxes keep rising while roads get worse, safety declines, homelessness grows. They're hopeless because their income stays the same, but taxes, fees, insurance, and utilities are doubling. And deep down, they carry an even heavier fear, the fear that a lifetime of work might end not in a legacy, but in loss. The frustration of paying more while services don't improve. The anxiety of living costs slipping out of reach. And the anger of feeling abandoned by the very system that's supposed to protect them weighs on their hearts. They ask, why am I paying more when everything is getting worse? Does anyone in charge even care what's happening to us? That's why understanding Prop 19 matters right now, before this year ends. Because once your property is reassessed, you can't undo it. The tax base you lose today is gone forever. Children who don't move in within 1 year lose the right to keep the old tax rate. And families who don't prepare now will face decisions they never imagined, including selling the home tied to their entire family history. But seniors are not powerless. They still have time. They can talk with their children now about the future of the home, decide whether moving in is possible, look into trusts or legal tools that might reduce the tax burden, and follow the Save Prop 13 movement, one of the few efforts trying to restore the protections California families relied on for decades. They built their homes with sweat, sacrifice, and decades of patience. They deserve to protect them. And understanding Prop 19 right now may be the single most important financial decision their family makes this year. Meanwhile, another quiet threat grows: the explosion of special taxes. Sales tax, parcel tax, and local fees show up in small amounts. But for seniors living on fixed incomes, they feel like steady punches. These increases aren't coming from big, obvious tax hikes. They're sneaking in bit by bit. Sales tax climbs by 1% here, 1% there. Parcel taxes appear on property tax bills with confusing explanations. Then there are local fees, small but constant, that make every monthly bill heavier than the last. Many people wonder why these charges show up so quickly. And the truth is that many taxes are now placed on the ballot by private groups, not city councils. These measures are labeled citizen initiatives and need only 50% plus one vote to pass, not the two-thirds majority California used to require. This loophole opened the floodgates for new taxes across the state. Younger voters and renters casually vote yes because they don't pay property tax or parcel taxes. Seniors, meanwhile, watch their bills grow heavier while living on fixed incomes. Roads remain broken, neighborhoods feel less safe, homelessness grows, and transit remains slow. It feels like pouring water into a bucket full of holes. As 2025 approaches, these special taxes will continue appearing on ballots. And if seniors aren't paying attention, they might accidentally vote for the very costs that make their own lives harder. And what many people don't know is how the Upland loophole from 2017 changed California forever. Before 2017, any special tax required a two-thirds vote. After the ruling, a tax proposed by a private group needs only a simple majority. That means taxes can pass quietly, with little public debate, and suddenly your property tax bill jumps, even though nothing improves around you. Seniors who paid mortgages for 30 years end up carrying the burden while having no idea who actually put the tax on the ballot. Even more devastating is what Prop 19 did to small landlords. Rental properties are reassessed at full market value when the owner dies, with no exceptions unlike primary homes. That means a small duplex bought decades ago, with a manageable tax bill suddenly jumps to $18,000, or $25,000 a year, when reassessed. Families who relied on the rental income are forced to sell, and large investment companies buy these properties, raise rents, and push affordable housing further out of reach. The people harmed most aren't wealthy investors, they're teachers, nurses, mechanics, veterans, and immigrants who scrape together savings to buy one rental property. Prop 19 erased the protection they spent their lives earning. Then comes another heavy blow: transfer taxes. Seniors selling a home are now hit with massive fees, sometimes $40,000 or $50,000, because transfer taxes have crept back in through loopholes. Despite being banned in 1978, seniors selling for medical reasons, downsizing, or moving closer to family find themselves losing tens of thousands of dollars just to sign the closing papers. A lifetime of taxes, and still they're charged for leaving. Meanwhile, the cost of living explodes in every corner of life. Groceries, gas, utilities, insurance, and basic essentials rise nonstop. Social Security increases a little, but bills increase a lot. Many seniors quietly admit they're afraid they won't be able to stay in their own homes. And through all this, hope remains in the Save Prop 13 movement, a grassroots push to restore the protections California families depended on for decades, close the 50% plus one loophole, and bring back strong limits on property taxes. Seniors need to act now, understand Prop 19, talk with their children, review tax bills carefully, follow the Save Prop 13 movement, and reach out to agencies for help before irreversible changes happen. Protecting your home isn't just financial, it's emotional. It's your history, your family, your peace. And staying informed is the first step toward protecting everything you spent your life building. If this video opened your eyes to what's really happening, make sure to subscribe so we can keep walking through these issues together. Sharing information no one warns you about. A simple like or subscribe might seem small, but it helps thousands stay informed and stay safe. Thanks for watching until the end. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe so you don't miss our daily updates. Now feel free to check out our most popular videos on your screen. Goodbye, and see you in the next one. *.